Hey everybody, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and I'm getting ready to go to a small little show here in Laurel, Maryland. It is hosted by Clandestine Comics. This is the same show that I go to just about every month or so this year. It is held here in Laurel and in Timonium, Maryland on alternating sites all the time. Really good show. It's not a huge show, but they've got really good dealers here. They always and it's usually the same dealers with a few that change out every now and then, but there are some really good dealers here in the Maryland area, and I'm looking forward to going in and seeing what they've got. I am also going to try to do a $100 challenge and stay under the $100 budget today, and let's see if that we can meet that challenge as well. So stay tuned. I will try to do some footage from the show, but at the very least I will show you the books that I pick up, and that's it. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so the first batch of books that I ended up picking up from one dealer, it's somebody I haven't seen before, but they had a very small table, and I kind of like that because they didn't have a lot of just filler books that you're going to sell for $1 or real inexpensive books. This actually, they concentrated a little bit more. They had a little bit more keys in there, and it seemed really good prices as I started going through, and I'm going, I can work with this. So I ended up picking up a few books. And let's just go through what I picked up, and I'll tell you what I paid for all these. The price on there isn't exactly what I paid at the end, but we picked up Captain America $3.59. This is the first cameo of Crossbones, and it's an inexpensive minor key. It's a cameo. Right now, a 9.8 on this book right here can run about, it's saying about $85. I've seen it run higher. Market's cool right now, but it's still a minor key that you never know. It may bring Crossbones back in the MCU. That was the cameo, but they also had 362, which is the first full appearance, and I believe the first appearance of Crossbones on the cover as well. And surprisingly, this right now, wow, it shocked me a little bit after I got it, but as you can see, they had $2 and $3 price tags on this. And as I said, overall, I paid less than this in the end. But right now, just a 9.8 on this is $55. I was a little shocked on that. I thought both of these would be closer to that $85 to $100, $125 range. Again, the market is down, but I don't mind getting a book for this little, that looks in this good shape and clean and press. Who knows? I may just hang on to it for a little while longer and send them in when the market rebounds a little bit. Now, this is a nice key that I keep picking up whenever I can, especially at this price. They had a $9 price tag on this. This is Alpha Flight number 33. This is the first appearance of Lady Deathstrike. Go Collect has this as a 9.8 as $190. That's up a little bit more than what I expected. That one's going up. I have pulled one from my PC. I cleaned and pressed and got this as a 9.8, and I don't think I ended up selling it. I don't think I got close to 190, but I'm probably closer to 150 for it at the time. So this one seems like it's got a pretty good value at that 9.8. But I can tell you this, and I don't have it on me right now, a book like this, if it drops down to a 9.6, boy, the price, fair market values on these will drop. It wouldn't surprise me if a book like this is a 9.6 dropped down to under $100 at this point. And then the second dealer I ended up buying something from is somebody that I look for at these shows. I do not know him. I recognize him, but what I find is that his books are reasonably priced, and he's got really good books for sale. Moderns, some older. It's a mixed bag sometimes. I've bought from him before. I've bought tons of modern books from him that have gone into CGC with a little bit of work and got my 9.8s. He has a lot of books I can spec on. So I end up going through his boxes, and usually he'll have books priced as mark, books for $1, books for $2, books for $5, and he'll separate them that way. And you can really do some diving and find some good deals in there. As I said, I wasn't diving into too many of the really low priced boxes just because I just didn't have the time. But I do dive into his $10 and $5 boxes and the price to mark boxes. And let's start with out of the $5 boxes, I pulled out a copy of Marvel Age #2. That is, again, most important thing, these books are in really good shape. There's no spine ticks over here. Marvel Age, of course, was the previews comic that Marvel did back in the 80s. And this is the first, actually, it's a first appearance of, well, first off, it's predates Alpha Flight #1. It's got the whole team on there. You've got the first appearance of Puck and, is it Marina? Is that how you pronounce it? I always called her Marina, but as a kid, I didn't never heard it pronounced, but I guess it really should be Marina. So this is actually their first appearance, their first comic appearance. I don't know how you would actually rate that. Definitely first cover appearance, right? So for $5, that's what the price tag was. I paid less over this whole bundle than that, but this was in the $5 bin. It was in a really nice shape. There's growing value on these Marvel Age books on some of them. I think it's number 12, does the cover to Secret Wars, and that one's really desirable. I know that the Stan Lee issue number 41 is really good too, but some of these early ones like this, especially in a first appearance like that, that's really good. So, as I said, $5 book. What I was saying, the 9.8 right now on this is about $70. So if I get that in there and get that 9.8 with the CGC fees, I'm looking at a profit of at least $50, $55 if I decide to sell at this time. I ended up picking up this. I never can resist a good price on Ren and Stimpy #1. Believe this is the first print. This was, again, a $10 book. Right now, a CGC 9.8 on a book like this goes for $140. So that was an easy decision to make, to go ahead and just throw $10 at that. You've got CGC and shipping fees, ended up $25, $30. That's actually not a pretty bad return on investment on something like that. And then, as I said, I didn't go into the $1 bin books, or the $2 bin books, but I did go through the books marked as priced, and I found a really nice looking copy of Simpsons Comics #1. This is a book I keep coming back and buying when I find it in that 25 and less range, as long as I don't see any spine ticks on this edge over here. The back will have to be examined a little bit. I think it has a very colorful full bleed back that you've got to watch a little bit, but right now the front is really good. They had a $20 price tag on this. I didn't mind that at all. But this is a book that I keep buying, and I keep getting my 9.8s on, and I keep reselling. Maybe someday I'll keep it for the PC. All right, and then the last book I bought was a really nice copy, and I had this back in the day. I had one of my original reader copy, and I think I still do. You've got some Marshall Rogers. Marshall Arisman actually is a fantastic illustrator. I don't know why I was thinking that. If anybody ever looks up Marshall Arisman, look back into the early 80s or general 80s and some of his illustrative artwork. It is mind-blowing, some of the stuff that he's done. But this is Marshall Rogers on Detective Comics. This is issue number 478. First appearance of the third Clayface. And this is a really nice cover. I was looking for defects, and I don't see any defects on here. So in a book like this, of this age, I generally find that the covers are really nice. I mean, it's been taken care of, but the backs can tend to be a little bit dirty just because of the age and where it's been. And so I'm sure there's going to be a nice clean press on the back on this. But looking forward to this. This right here is probably the big winner of this book. If I can manage to get a 9.8 on this right here, we are talking a $550 value, fair market value on this as a 9.8. And what's nice is if I can't pull that 9.8, but I could still pull a 9.6 or even 9.4, there's still a lot of value that even at this $20 price tag, great return on investment. Can't wait to get this one in the shop. This will probably go before some of the other ones, to be quite honest. But I thought that was a pretty good deal. So on this right here, I ended up paying a total of $40. And that's one of the things I like about this dealer. Yes, he has his boxes marked and everything, but I tend to bundle books. And I've never really had to... I think we negotiated over a couple of dollars because it ended up being a couple dollars. It was an odd number. And I think after like $42 and... all I had on me were tens, and I said, how about 40? And he ended up doing $40 on the lot. But he had already come down a bunch to begin with. And I find that you go over, I'm not sure what the limit is, but you bundle enough books, even a small handful like this, and he'll knock off a little bit because he's in the business of moving books. And I've talked to him before, and how much I actually enjoy buying from his collection that he brings to the shows because he has some really nice keys in there. You can always find good keys. He also carries a lot of the facsimiles that I love getting, and I even looked at some of those, but as I said, we were working on a budget. And I've got my facsimiles in stock that I'm working on right now from him from the last show. I didn't buy any at this time because $100 challenge, guys. Yeah, I didn't want to just buy for buying's sake. I've got those bases covered on his facsimiles. Let's move on to something else. This right here is something new. I like that. And then at the end of the show, I'm going around, and I made one stop at one of the dealers. I've bought from him before some pretty good books, and they were running a 50% off sale. Prices are already pretty good anyway, but I thumbed through. It didn't have a lot of boxes, but it had some nice keys in there, and I ended up buying a book, and I bought it on condition. And then I saw the price, and I'm going, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this. This is OMAC, One Man Army. This is the original Jack Kirby book, a book I had in my PC when I grew up. I had this book. In fact, I still have this book in one of my old childhood boxes with all my old comics. They had $15 on here, and of course that would be $7.50. He ended up knocking it down to $7, so I paid $7 for this. And I'm telling you, this is a really, really nice copy. There's a little bit of smudge by the staple right here, but no color breaks. And generally, the front of this is really white, and I don't see a lot of dirt except for that one little smudge. I'm kind of excited about this because this actually, like that Detective Comics, as a 9.8, it's a lot of money. This is a $475 if you can pull that 9.8. And I'm pretty confident in my abilities. You've seen me pull 9.8s on books that I've worked on, like X-Men 95 and Wolverine Limited Series number 1 by Frank Miller, pulling those 9.8s on older books like this. So this actually might be the oldest book that I'm going to work on that I think has that 9.8 potential. We will find out on that. So anyway, that was the last book of the show, and then I realized, wow, I'm running out of time. I'm going to walk around the show, do some footage. That's the footage, the little bit of footage you saw earlier in this video today, and I got out of there. That was it. That was all I ended up getting. And in the end, I ended up spending a total of $77. I didn't even come close to the 100, but part of that was because I cut the show short. I didn't go back through. I had several of my friends who set up at these shows there and everything, and they all had great books and everything. And at the time, I was trying to, as I said, we're keeping to this budget today, and I was not looking for the big mega keys. I wasn't looking for my John Byrne X-Men. My buddies at Pop-Up Comics had a Avengers 196. If they see this, if I see them at the next show, I'm going to have to look at it because I'm kind of in the market for a really nice copy of Avengers $196 right now, and we'll see. Maybe next show we'll pick it up. But guys, that is it. That is the last book for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoy seeing my process. And I know a lot of you, on the case like this, I don't mind giving the prices on things like this right here. This wasn't a lot of money, but there's a lot of could be return on investment in this case. I think I'm going to add a lot of value to these books, and I think I'm going to do pretty good down the road once I get ready, send them in the CGC, and we'll get them back. Every one of these will most likely be for sale. Maybe a little hard to give up that, depending on the grade, that Detective Comics, but as I said, I've got my reader copy in my collection. We'll see. So, guys, that's it. I will see you for the next video. Take care.